Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And Saubhagya, thanks for joining, Saubhagya. So tell me about yourself and where your understanding about DevOps skill.
Working on with a application support analyst.
Sorry.
Application support analyst.
Saubhagya, your voice is very, I mean, it's very not clear basically.
Hello.
Hmm.
Hello. Yeah, my voice audible?
Yes.
No. Okay, I'm working now. Application support analyst,
Mhm.
and some knowledge about Ansible and Jenkins also, and working with the DevOps tool also. And need to be actually I have raised concern about more study about DevOps tools.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, I just wanted to understand all of you, like, where are you and, things. So, anyway, I think I just understand three of them. So, since Nagarjuna is not able to uh, answer, okay, so we can get started. So, I believe, okay, there is a mic problem. So, guys, I need maybe if you people have, came for only the demo training, right? I would recommend just ensure your laptop and I need minimum i3 and 16 GB RAM or i5 8 GB RAM. Okay. So as this is a hands-on training, it's not a theoretical training, it's a hands-on training. The day one, your training will be start in hands-on. There is no theoretical or definition. Basically, the definition will be there. Instead of telling the definition, I will be giving the answer where you can able to answer any of the definition based on your understanding and your live experience. Are we clear? Right? So I need the quality laptop, or I can say i5 and 16 GB RAM. It's very, uh, good to have, so that you will be don't have to lag, and where I will be going with the one path, and where instead of because of your laptop issue, where you will be struggling to install some setups or installing the software, right? So I don't want to know go that way. So make sure your laptop and your internet and your audio are properly aligned, so that we don't want to interrupt anywhere because of these common issues, right? So you have to ensure on this part. Okay, so let's get started. So what is DevOps basically? Let me share my screen. Guys, I don't have any template. Okay, it's a hands-on that you need to understand. Okay. Okay. So DevOps. What is DevOps? DevOps is a methodology in software development and IT industry. Why it is familiar? You have some understanding about development. There are some people who working in terms of networking or deployment in the operation side. By collaborating dev and ops, we'll call DevOps. So it's a 50% of development understanding and 50% of operations. So when the people have a understanding the development and operation, those people will call DevOps. Okay. So why it is familiar? Why? Because in the IT world, we are handling the multiple application, and we don't know how to deployment, how to properly aligned, or properly set up practices which need to be used for our development for the operations. So when you have a familiar with the DevOps, your entire team will go with the right path. For example, in our case, let's take a small case. So we have a 3 developer and we have a two operation or one operation guy. The operation guy does not understand, he don't understand the development terminology, then what will happen? When developer develop a application using Python, when the operation guy set up in the Windows machine, okay? When developer is trying to install, asking to install Python, no, some specific version, where he might install the latest version, or he don't know how to downgrade the application, or if the any modules need to be installed, where the operation guy don't understand. If there is a issue in your application code, there is a probability of most of the peoples are asking to know how to set up the environment variable, how to run the environment variable for development, how to run that for the production environment. So there are a lot of complication will be there in order because of the communication issue, because of understanding issue. So that is why the DevOps, it's a very, we will call it's a methodology. So the methodology, I hope you people have some understanding about agile methodology. If no, anyway, it's already impact in our DevOps training class. So you will get to know what is agile methodology and Jira software for your project management tool. Okay. So DevOps integrate and automate the work for the software development and IT operation as a mean of improving, shortening the system development lifecycle. Okay. So you have developed a small application. Okay. You have developed a small application where you have a development environment. So what is mean by development environment? Development environment is nothing but it's a physical machine where your application is going to run. Okay. For all your test cases, all your unit testing, you will be using that particular machine for your development environment. So you do commit some changes, you do change your code, and then where you can build it, and then copy that particular package file and manually copy that file into your server, you will be running. Everything is working. There is no issue. When you are giving that particular output to the production, that is a challenge is coming, where the operation guy set up in a different way, where the development is developed a different way. Will that work? Definitely it will not work. That is why we need a DevOps guy who understand the development as well as operation, where he will lead the entire project in terms of the deployment process. Right? So basically, the DevOps will give you the more flexible and more automation way to deploy your application. Whenever there is a application issues coming, and is there any production issues coming, or is there anything which development team struggling, you are the one guy who is going to help them for the fixing those issues, and uh, removing the obstacles in terms of the implementation, the particular changes. Okay. So are we good with the DevOps? What is that? But we will be detailed in the DevOps process training one by one. What are the tools? So basically, the DevOps methodology or DevOps process will be used certain tools. So you will be learning the certain tools called Git, Jenkins, or any monitoring software, or a deployment software, or cloud computing, how to deploy the cloud computing application, how to make the process to automate your unit test cases, or Selenium automation testing, or any security vulnerability testing. Everything you will be integrated with the pipeline. So these are the CI/CD pipeline. And before that, we will be kickstart. The first topic is Git. Okay. So as I told you, this is an interactive session. I don't want anybody, just keep silent. If you have any question, there is no Q&A session basically. If you have any question, you can ask immediately, so that it will be useful for others. They might afraid to ask, they might plan to ask. It will be open talk basically, right? So before continuing, the first topic is Git. And do you have any basic understanding about Git? If anybody have, Please open.
Yeah, as part of Ansible automation certification, I used Git actually. It is a centralized repository where we can commit all the developed codes, and it will be implemented from the Git to wherever we want, and it will be deployment basis. We can deploy from the Git. So that's my
Correct.
understanding. We can push
Correct.
and pull. Yeah.
So if we, generally, if you want to learn something, we will be learning, but we don't know why we are learning. That is the very, very impact what the developers are, the operation guy, learning. We don't know why we are learning Angular. We don't know why we are learning DevOps. So we don't know why we are learning it. The history is very, very important thing, what I believe. Okay. So we are going to just talk about the little bit history. Then what are the challenges, the existing employee or existing candidate have faced, how that they overcame, and why they are, using it now. Okay. So let's have a notepad. Okay. If I ask you, what is file share path? Network file share path. Anyone? Network file share path.
It's sharing the file system between server to server. So
Correct.
we can share directly. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it's a network-based file path where you can share your files. And before that, if you want to copy some file from one system to another system, what is the options before
We
network?
use SCP, FTP,
Okay.
such way. Yeah.
It's everything under coming the network protocol. I'm talking about before networking. What are the way to copy the files?
That time CD, DVD, floppy.
Floppy,
Yeah.
CD, DVD, or pen drive. Now we are using hard disk, right? Okay. Now, if I wanted to copy the files, these are the ways we can copy, right? Now, we have a 3 developer, okay? 3 developer who working in our application called Google. Okay, clear? Now, yeah, one developer who working on the a.txt. Okay, and second developer working on b.txt, and third developer working on c.txt. Okay, clear? Now, if you are a new development, which you are, working as a single developer, a first person working on a.txt, and the second person working on b.txt, and third person working on c.txt. So they are working individually where there is no issue, right? At last end of day, they will copy the entire code through the CD or pen drive or any other, source to destination copyable device. They can do it. Okay, it's clear. There is no issue, right? Now in second day or after 10 day, a first guy who need to update b.txt, okay, and second guy who is working on b.txt, and third guy who working on a.txt. Correct? Here is the situation. When a guy, first person and second person working on b.txt, okay, if the guy who is going to copy by 5 o'clock, okay, is copying his data to CD, okay, same CD, and this guy writing by 6 o'clock. Which code is the latest?
6 p.m. is the latest.
What about the fifth guy, the 5 o'clock guy who commit? Is that the changes will be reflect in the sixth?
Yeah, depends on where he returned actually.
So it's a
I
loss
mean,
because when you're copying, for example, I'm just opening the folder, right? Right? Where I'm just having my PC, where I have a share path. I'm just creating a.txt. Okay. I'm going with the basic steps because this is very important. So when I copy this data into new folder, it will be copied at very first time, right? I'm copying that a.txt into demo, it will be copied. When I copy it again, it will ask you, the destination, the file already exists. Are you going to overwrite? Is the system understand what is the changes which you are going to lose? Is there any system, such a tool going to, say like, you are going to lose your data? Since it's a straightforward system, not understand, it's basically just understand the file already exists, which means you are overwriting. Okay, I did overwrite. So the such a way, the 5 o'clock guy, the first guy who developed the changes, is been lost. Right? You're getting my point? So in order to fix this kind of issue, what the engineers came, it's called SVN. It's a software. Okay. Source versioning control, or we can call SCM, or we can call SVSS. Okay. So these are the legacy system which used in between the 2000 to 2010 or before as well. You're getting my point? So it was a very, very good software where it will be, just, validating your commit, which will tell you like, you are overwriting the file, which will be lost and so on. So what happened, since it's a network share path, so what happened like, and because instead of, doing the CD copy paste, it's a very, very, hard work. So what I have used a network share path. So you people know how to do the network share path. Basically, just go to your file explorer, right? And then go to your PC, share, right click, you just give access to specific people. I'm going to say everyone, add. I'm going to say read and write. Just share it. As soon as I share, I'm just opening this, right? Copy link. When I open this in folder explorer, right? Right? You see, it's open through my network. You're getting my point? It's open through my network. Now, if anybody who already working in the same network, even they can access this particular file share. So this is a network share path, because CD and things and all, it's a readable by one device, where the network share path can be accessed by multiple people who have a right access. Okay, are we clear what is network share path? Now this network share path will be used for the SVN software. So what happened, instead of whenever you are copying the specific file and placing into the network share path, your file will be replaced, which means your data has been lost, whatever the changes has been done by another developer. So now what we are going to do, using this SVN software, it's a client software. Okay, it's a client software. Now same scenario, the A guy who working on the things will be called commit. Okay, we will be calling commit. So what this SVN software hold? Basically, the SVN software will be used some database to track all the changes. So how that is going to track? That going to track by commit ID. Okay. That going to track by commit ID. So the first developer who commit the a.txt, what it will do? Hey system, please add a.txt. Okay. Then commit, he will say added. Okay, some message. Okay, commit message, say added a.txt file. Okay, clear? And same way B guys will do, and same way C guys will do. Now we have a 3 files. There is no issue. Whenever there is a commit, there will be a random. Okay. Some ID will be there. This is called commit ID. Okay. So what the system will do, it will always highlight what is the last commit ID. So in this case, we'll be having, right? And we have a 3 commit ID. Okay. So we'll be having 3 commit ID. Right? So which is the latest? This is done by a.txt, and this is done by second developer, and this is done by third developer. This is done by 5 o'clock, and this is done by 4:50, right? And this is done by 6 o'clock. So if you understand this timing, which is the latest one? Of course, this is the latest one, right?
6 o'clock.
This is the latest. So what it will do, the system will start maintain the last commit ID. Okay. Now coming to the next day. Next day, same scenario. There is a scenario which these 3 people going to work, right? Now, if the person who's going to work for the next day, he has to pull all commit IDs. Is machine. You're getting my point? Now, this software will call sync or repo clone. We will get into that basically. Just understand, before working on any changes, what I will do, I will come in the morning. I will take all the latest changes into my local machine. Basically, we'll call sync. You're getting my point? So basically, we'll call it's a sync. So once the A developer sync, okay, the A developer sync, what it contained, basically he already holding the 3 commit. So he is working on it. Now he generating one more random number by 5 o'clock. This is number 4. So which is the latest now? This is the latest. Now, if the guy who is going to prepare, even he also taken all the sync, but he's working on it, he's trying to commit, it will be denied. Okay, it will be denied because when he's trying to commit the changes, the system, the latest commit ID is this guy. He does not have a changes in his local machine. So what will happen? You are not having a latest version. Kindly pull your latest version so that you can able to commit. Okay. Are we clear here? So it will be denied because of you don't have a latest commit ID. So once he denied, now he will be pulling the details and then he will do recommit. He will do commit. Now it say okay. Okay. So now what will happen? Each commit ID, the system start holding the changes on the particular line by line. Are we clear? Guys, if Supriya, I think. Okay. So this is okay, right? So you can able to understand, right? So why the SVN came? So Satish, this is SVN is given a very good opportunity for the company how to easily avoid this kind of issue. There is a issue basically, but still instead of using and losing the code changes, SVN was the very good opportunity for the company. But when the multiple team is working on it, there is a issue. So what is the issue? Now we'll work on the okay. Before that, I'm just going to explain what is SVN. So SVN is the Apache Subversion is a software versioning and revision control system distributed as an open source under Apache license. So this is how it will work basically. So now let's understand repository is nothing but our file network share path. Okay. Now what is mean by SVN server? Basically, the SVN client and SVN server will be placed. The SVN client is a software where the software will be installed in your machine. And SVN server is the network-based application where it can able to communicate with your file system as well as the SVN server repository as a database. So this is the SVN server hold all the latest changes, all the commit details by the database, and also it will start holding the each commit details and the code changes in the repository. Okay, so you do commit and take latest, and the second guy also working on it, he will commit and take the latest. So this is how it was working. There is no issue, completely working. The problem is you going to maintain a single environment for the single repository. There is no option to maintain multiple environment by single repository. So why we have to maintain separate repository for each environment. Okay. I hope there are some company. Is anyone can able to tell me the software as a service? Software as a service. Any software name? Any software name? Okay, let me go. So I am going to develop a dental software. Okay. I'm going to develop a dental software. In this dental software, I have developed for common hospital. Okay. I have developed a software for common hospital. Now this I will call base version. Okay. Now we don't want to go there. Okay. Now this is a dental software. Now your software is very unique, and the customers are IT company or any other hospitals who wants to wanted to use it actually. Now there is a hospital name called Apollo, and then Miet. There are two hospital come and asking you, hey, this software is very unique, but still I have some other requirement which you need to do customization for me. Okay. Generally we do, right? If they are a very big customer, what we'll do, we will maintain the individual development use cases for the Apollo and Miet. So this both hospital are coming at the same time asking to do the development. You are having 10 developers. You have 10 developers which working for your dental software company. Now the Apollo and Miet hospital asking to develop the individual. How you are going to work in this way? So now what you need to do? You need to create a new repository, right? So you can call dental DS-Apollo. Okay. And you are going to create one more repository is called empty, right? Hyphen. Okay, sorry. Hyphen Miet. This is the repository. Okay. This two hospital, they are asking you to develop. One guy asking SMS implementation, and this guy asking WhatsApp implementation. Okay. So what you are going to do? You are going to work and they are paying for you, right? So what is there any challenge? No, you are developing. Now, this second requirement is a common requirement. What they're asking is email. And this is also email. Okay. Now, what you're going to do, you are going to do the work 2 times, which means your developer going to work for this particular email changes or email functionality for 10 days. Again, same functionality you are going to implement in the Miet hospital also. The problem is there is no automation way to merge the email module into Miet, because this is a different repository and this guy is a different repository. Obviously, they are, individually a different file system. So you cannot do, you have to do manual. You have to copy your code manually and do the things. And it's a very, very hard to, just copy the code from one repo to another repo. Because if you would have developed the email in first Apollo, where you will be copying, okay, you also copied after 10 days, everything clear. Now there is two bugs are coming. Every day bugs are coming. So you are going to do the routine work, do the copy paste again and again in the different repo. So in order to avoid this kind of issue, what the company is, came with a solution called, maybe they have, initially before Git, and there was a TFS, Team Foundation Server. But right now, the Team Foundation Server is no more. There is no such service, but I'm just giving the name. It's a Team Foundation Server. So now this guy is offered a multiple branches where you can maintain a number of branches for your single project. Basically, you have a tree, and the tree you have a leaves, right? And you have a branches, right? If one branches started falling because of some virus, is there another one also will get impact? Obviously no. If you cut that particular branch, that's it, it will move on, it will start grow, right? Basically the same way we are going to maintain a individual branches for your customer who asking to do the customize the existing software. Okay. So now what happened, like basically this guy offer a remote. Okay, let me open. So okay, so this is the architecture for the Team Foundation server. Okay, so the Team Foundation server have a client tier, either laptop or desktop, right? And there is a Team Foundation app tier where it will, do the versioning control as a proxy and build machine, and they have a own database. So what happened, like this issue has been resolved by using the Team Foundation server. Still, there is a problem. So what is the problem? Because if the particular server is not able to communicate by online, where you are committing something, it will be lot of challenges which we have started facing. Why? Because if the server is going, it's a server, it's basically a Windows server or Linux server, where it will deployed in your machine, in your office. So if the server is not able to respond, and you cannot commit your change, so you cannot work the next task what your company is assigned to you. So basically what I'm trying to say, today I'm working on the SMS application. If I'm not able to commit the changes to the particular branch, then I'm completely losing this particular changes what I made for today. So, but tomorrow I need to work as a email service changes, where I cannot work because the server is down, where I'm not able to push the changes because there is no local caching mechanism to maintain your commits in local. So in order to avoid this kind of issue, now Git is came with the as an open source platform, where you have a option to local repository and then remote repository. Okay. They came with the innovative solution using local repository. You don't record the network repository. You don't record. You do commit. Basically, you are a startup company. What you are doing every day, you are coming and you are working on it. You are merging into your master. Okay. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months, where people are working remotely, where they don't have internet facility, they can commit their daily basis code check-ins, right? They can do it in local repository. When they connected with the remote, they can commit all the changes into remote repo. Easy solution, right? Is there any doubt on the SVN and the TFS and the why the history started we are moved from the SVN to TFS and TFS to Git? If you have any question, you can ask me now before proceeding the detailed Git. Anyone? Basically, you can raise so that I will it will notify me then. Okay, I believe everybody got understanding about Git. Okay, why we are using and Git is very familiar because of the history. Okay, we have faced many challenges, then came around, and then we are finally with the Git now. Okay, if you see, there are lot of product which providing service for Git. So we will detail and go through the Git, right? Basically, so that it will be you will understand the real scenario of Git, how that going to help us in the doing the automations, like in terms of CI/CD deployment and understanding the developer issues. If you go, there are some challenges. Basically, merging the different branches or merging the different there are some pull records. We'll detailedly go in through the next classes, right? And so we'll just talk about the Git overview for today. Okay. Okay, what is Git? Git is a version control system for tracking changes in computer files and coordinating work of those files among the multiple people. Git is a distributed version control system. So Git does not necessarily really a central server to store all the versions of the project file. As I told you, it's a distributed version control system. It does not require a central server to store all your version. So you can start work on your local repository, right? And then you start, inserting, or you can start commit your changes by just maintaining in your local itself. Once you are connected with the data center as a central server, you can start all whatever you have done so far from the particular Git. You can start push the changes so that it will be very detailed, clean, and keep record for all your changes. So basically it holds all the history of tabs what you have done so far in the from day one itself. Okay. So what is Git workflow? Okay. Basically, you have a working directory, you have a staging area, you have a local repo, and you have a remote repo. Okay. So this is completely, it's not a a thing. Maybe I can just go back and see the another overview. So this is what I explained initially, just combine using the a.txt and b.txt. It's the same. So okay. So what is Git? Git as a command line software where you will be installed in your Windows or Mac. It does support all the OS basically. So what is Git? Basically, it's a executable file where it contains the list of actions. Either we can call git init, git clone, or git add, or git commit, and branch, and so on. So there are multiple, I can say more than 200 commands are there for the Git basically. As a human, we cannot able to remember all those things. Basically, a DevOps side, when you are coming into DevOps, you have to learn lot tools. So some company might use Git. Some company use I mean in the GitHub. Some company use Bitbucket. Some company use Azure Repo. So there are variety of Git softwares are available, which we call Git providers. They basically they are doing the authentication and login. Everything is quite different, right? So we cannot able to maintain or learn the all the commands. So instead of that, what I would recommend, just use any utility software to do the necessary action by shortcut your actions. Okay. So basically, in order to install the Git, so you just need to go Git download. So this is a space where you can download the Git. I'm selecting, which is my 32-bit Windows setup. Is anybody there in the Mac? Okay. So this machine already the Git is installed, right? Anyway, I will reinstall because I wanted to update the Git extension. So I will say next and next. So always ensure whenever you are installing any software, don't do hurry and say next, because I know these things long time back. I'm every month at least I'm installing the updated version. So I know what to proceed and what is next will be. So make sure you learn what the options say and proceed. Okay. So I'm using, okay, I don't want to do, so I'm using the tortoise kit. So I will tell you why I'm selected that option. That's it. So I'm upgrading. See, from 2.44 I'm removing. I'm installing the latest version. Okay. So Git is the exe. It's a command line exe where you are going to use Git init as initializing your local repository, or if you have a remote repository, how to clone the remote repository and start using it, and then how to commit your changes into the central server or your local repository, how to move your branch from one branch to another branch, or how to merge the two branches together, or how to validate your, when you are doing merge the two branches, you wanted to do validate before merging things, so on. You will start learn, right, basically in the upcoming class. So we are almost closing our timing, right? So if you have any questions, you can ask me. We will continue the further steps in the Git, how to use the Git effectively. So first, what we learn, we will start understand the development terminology. So what are the development aspects the Git will be used, and what are the deployment aspects the Git will be used? Okay, so we will be learning both development and operations. Okay, so I'm stopping here. So far we have just concluded the Git use cases, right? And basically why we have to use Git, and what are the challenges we have faced in the SD, and why we need to use Git. Now we are here and we have completed the installation step in my local machine. So if you are following the class, just always complete the day class, whatever I'm completing, and make sure you spend some time and install and then learn what I teached. Any questions before wind up this call? Yes, are you there? Hello, am I audible?
Nothing, bro. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, bro. We will see tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining. Basically, yeah, we will continue the demo classes tomorrow as well. So tomorrow you're gonna learn the Git, basically how to use the local repository and remote repository. Then you will start work on the use cases for the real issues. What are the challenges the company facing in terms of Git workflow strategy? So basically the Git, what you are seeing, it's a very baby step, right? And when you start working on the Git workflow strategy, each company follow their own strategy for the development purpose that we will be learning. Okay. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Yeah,
We'll see
thank
you
you.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you, Satish.
Thanks, Gopal.
Thank you.